a little hot out of the gate. Good morning, everybody. Welcome back. So we've got another race day here today, and we're heading out to the Black River Motorsports Park after I give this thing a little bath. And today we're going to be kind of jumping off where we left off at the last time. So Autocross #1 for the year was the first time that I had put the first time racing with the coilovers on. The improvement was substantial. Now that I've kind of ran the whole course on the settings that I had, I was able to kind of figure out where the limits were and whether or not increasing the compression and rebound is the next appropriate step. Now the settings that it's at is 4 and 6. I set it up based on the manual suggestion for like spirited street driving, basically. I like my suspension a little bit stiff, a little bit sporty feeling, so that's kind of where I had set things up. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna move more into the competition side of the settings, so increasing the numbers on both of those. But a factor to consider is that there are a few rough patches, and they're not terribly rough, but there's a few little bumpier spots out of Brian's track. So you don't wanna overdo it and make it too stiff, because then it's gonna hurt your performance, and also it's just gonna be that much harder on the car. So yeah, anyways guys, thanks for tuning in. We're gonna head out there and go check out the other cars and get ready for racing. Thanks for tuning in.
Where's that part? Ramp 1 is right. If there's room at the end, yeah, absolutely. Okay.
So now I'm up. This is my run group. So we'll see how this goes. moving doesn't feel too bad.
I saw you being conservative.
It's a fun one.
Yeah, it looks like it's fast as hell.
Very fast.
I'm a little jealous. I don't have a car for this, man.
Time to repurpose the Fox body.
Yeah. That's not possible without many dollars just in the backside of it.
Yeah, I believe it.
All the coilovers are in between the frame rails and tucked all the way up through the floor into the roll cage.
Everything's different.
Yeah, she's a different beast right now.
Yeah. I suppose you have to be if you're aiming for, what, the 8s? Yeah. All right, here we go.
All right, let's go.
It was at this moment that he knew. He fucked up.
Boy, that escalated quickly.
All right. Whoops. That's embarrassing. We'll take some air pressure down after this one. Okay, you guys gotta see this. So, you know, run number 2 where I just screwed up and I don't know, went a little too hard and threw it into second and had the rear end completely step out on me. Well, what's hilarious is you can see the strips that are out here. So I laid these big strips out of the starting block here, and you can actually see where my lines cut in and point me right towards the I think this is the cone that I got. So if I'm looking at the right lines, this is where I ended up. I really thought I was going to go into the grass. It's pretty hilarious. I don't know, what can you do? I got into it a little bit too hard, got a little too excited, and then got surprised by the transition, because you can really see from right here, there's the transition section. So you can see it goes from being like really nice and flat, and then it dips down, leading in here. So that's where I screwed up. But I tell you, every time you come out here, it's a learning lesson. You'd never think that an oval course would work this well for autocross, but it really does. I don't know. Yeah, so if you guys ever have a tarmac racetrack in your area, there's hope for it to become an actual autocross track. Because you wouldn't think that an oval would work that well, but it really does. Especially if you can add like a tiny bit to it, so you've got a unique starting spot, or you've got a little bit of space in infield or something. You can see just how well it works. And obviously, it's a hit. We're selling out most days. So, all right, let's get back to racing.
Well, let me tell you guys, today was a memorable one. All right, let's recap it. Okay, so I set my best by quite a bit. So previously, the best that I've done is, I think, oh man, I think I maybe got into the 37s, but I'm pretty sure it's like a 38. I'm trying to think. And it's a different course, and this one was definitely faster. But yeah, today I put down a 35.5, which is cooking. And it feels like it too. It feels like the driving is better. It feels like the car's performing better. Just kind of like all around improvements. And here's the craziest thing. I didn't touch the suspension settings. It felt too good. So there possibly was room for improvement, but I didn't feel like I really needed to improve anything. It was so good as is. So it's like, well, why? When I felt like the tires and the driver were the areas that needed the improvement, rather than like messing with the suspension, I'm gonna work on those things. And by focusing on my driving technique and, focusing on my driving technique and then airing down the tires, I found the most success. Like the times kept dropping until I basically reached the fastest I was gonna get, which was that 35.5. So now at this point, I think it's a little more of me just kind of getting over my fears, which is, honest to God, really like half the battle. Like you know that you can go faster. You know you can go faster in some areas. You might be at the peak in certain places, but there's always somewhere where you can go a tiny bit faster. And a lot of it's a mental game of just trying to get over your own fears that you're gonna like understeer or spin out or whatever it is. And yeah, I mean, today, like once I aired down the tires, then after that, it was all just me trying to figure out where the areas were that I was being a wuss and needed to try and go faster. And it worked. It worked, guys. I shaved off a ton of time today. So next time we'll see if the course stays the same. We might play with the settings a tiny bit. But I do think I'm ready for some fresh tires at some point. I'll see if these things will get me a couple more events, because I think there's time to be saved elsewhere in the driving skill. But yeah, I think we've got a lot of room for improvement and to make this thing go even faster. But at the end of the day, it was a blast. So thanks for tuning in. We'll see you on the next one.